started to wonder, and I wondered, which led me to wonder. I had to wonder. I started to wonder. I couldn't help but 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 wonder. Couldn't help but wonder. I couldn't help but wonder. I couldn't help but wonder. Oh fuck, am I leading this week? Great.
Yeah.
All right.
I was like, I know it's not me.
True. Welcome to City Girls Make Do, your number one Sex and the City podcast. I'm your host, Stephanie, and I'm swallowing.
I'm Alex, and I'm at least a high-class escort.
And hi, I'm Val Flightcub, and I am an ambivalent Bostonian.
Ah, there we go.
I love it. Nice. Yeah, we're joined by a very good guest today, Val, a friend of the show. We're excited to have you here.
Thank you for having me. I'm excited to be called a friend.
You are a friend.
Thank you. Thank you for calling me a friend. Golden Girls, anybody seen it?
Yeah.
No, but it is kind of basically Sex and the City, so I feel like we should see it.
It's Sex and the City 30 years later.
Oh my god, you're right.
Yeah, it's very good. Anyway, my history with Sex and the City is that I watched it randomly growing up. Like every once in a while I'd see an episode. I saw the episode where the guy asks Carrie to pee on him, and I very specifically remember the part where she was like, what if I poured hot tea on you? Maybe that would feel good. And I am glad that I wasn't on that episode so that I didn't tell my story that's relevant to that. So I've actually... And I've also... I realized watching this episode that I have seen this episode also. So I've seen probably 6 episodes of Sex and the City, and this is one of them.
Well, that's a lucky coincidence. I don't know if I want to know the story.
But I'm
curious
that
now.
I'm not going to tell it. I'll tell you that off the air.
Okay. You don't have to tell us something you don't want to, but
Yeah.
I guess we can get into it now.
Yeah.
Because we're on season 3, episode 14, and Sex in Another City.
It's the same city as last week, but it's still not New York, so...
No. So we might as well be in, fucking Antarctica if we're not in New York.
Yeah, no, pretty much. LA is so different from New York, apparently.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
There's
Different planet.
It's like those Mad Men episodes where they go to LA and Pete is like, you can't even get a good bagel here.
Oh, we got more bounce in California? Yeah.
I thought the California episodes of Mad Men were a dream sequence. Anyway, sorry. Yes, we're still in LA.
They're good. Yeah, we're still in LA. We're still in LA. We're at a pool. Looker is trying to move my mic filter. Okay, thanks, Looker. Lifting up his tail so I can talk into the mic.
You don't need it.
No, he's fine. No, you don't need to talk to anybody. We're at the pool, and we learn that this is the land of the perpetual bikini wax, I guess. And we then see Carrie getting a bikini wax done by this woman who apparently does it for, a bunch of celebrities. And she goes, full out with it, full on Brazilian. Carrie's not anticipating this.
She's very strict, this woman. It's every, European stereotype of... a strict woman.
Yeah, she's a sort of, I guess, meant to be Eastern European or Russian or something. She's very scary.
Right. She says something that Carrie does not understand.
Well, Carrie doesn't understand a lot of things, being a human person, so...
Yeah. But if the woman had been you should be nice to your boyfriends, Carrie would be like, what is this woman saying? I don't understand.
She'd be like, don't cheat on people. And Carrie's just like, huh?
That's too complicated. Yeah, she'll never get it. But she does lift her leg up, and she gets, big ol' wax. Yeah.
The whole...
Yeah, and Carrie's then we cut to Carrie by the pool with the girls, and she's like, oh, I feel cold.
It's... Yeah, in LA, that's what you're gonna feel is cold.
I like that same as, nothing No triangle? No landing strip? No little... she's... and it's like, no, still nothing.
No,
That's why I
well,
said
they
nothing.
call that Hollywood, so it's on the like they call it Hollywood, or at least over here they do.
Oh my god, I have never heard that.
Yeah, over here it's a Hollywood if you're getting the whole thing off. I don't know why, but I mean, I will say I'm not a fan of a bare look, so I understand.
It's very strange.
It's definitely an extreme look, and none of them are very used to it, I guess. I guess the thing is, didn't we go over this like a season ago, the whole Brazilian wax thing? Like, I feel like we had an episode about this recently.
Nah, I blocked it all out.
What is it Miranda says? She's like, LA men are too lazy to go looking? Something like that? They don't have time to go find it.
They need a machete because they're in the jungle.
Right. Like, okay.
I can't imagine New York men are any better, but okay.
No. But Sam is like saying, Samantha's all like, oh, you know, when you're bare, you're all bold. It's sort of making out that, you know, because now it's like a bit more like a porn star, I suppose, that being completely stripped of all your pubes makes you... Like
makes you act out.
Yeah, makes you sexual, which I don't understand. I don't like it because it feels kind of like childlike. Do you know what I mean?
Right. It looks like you. Yeah.
It's like kind of weird, but I don't know. I don't know if this correlates. I don't know how your pube situation correlates to any more libido or anything, but
I guess maybe you're like, you want to show it off? I don't know.
I suppose if you go to all that effort, then yeah.
And when Carrie is like, "Oh, I feel cold," like because the air is on it or whatever, that's like definitely like, it's not that you'd actually feel cold, but like I've definitely like, you know, you overreach a little bit shaving or something, and you're just like extremely aware, of your crotchal area. So maybe
like,
if you're thinking about it more,
there.
maybe if you're thinking about it more,
true.
you're like, I should do this with it. I don't know.
But she's also on the pool in a bikini, so not cold. But
no.
Anyway, then Miranda is like, "Oh, I gotta go and meet a friend." Because I know she's gonna go meet Lou, who I guess for anyone who joined us off HKIP, I mentioned this in the City Girl server. But it's Sam Seder who now hosts like a radio show, like a left-wing politics radio show.
Oh.
Wait, who does that? This actor does?
Yeah.
Oh, right. You said that. Oh, that's
And, like,
good for him.
Yeah, and then I watched an interview with him and Cynthia Nixon.
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Which
makes sense.
They didn't mention it, but everyone in the comments is like, "Oh, it's a Sex and the City reunion."
Oh my god.
That's really good.
Yeah, I don't know. For some reason, Sex and the City just attracts politics, I suppose.
Yeah, makes sense. That's really good. I love that. Before we go to her date, we find out that Carrie and Samantha are going to some after party later on because Carrie has a press pass.
To a movie premiere, but nobody sees the movie.
No one sees the movie. They're just going straight to the premiere, the after party,
After party.
Yeah. So yeah, and then Miranda's on her little catch up with Lou. So he was a writer for Letterman in New York, and then he moved to LA to write a sitcom about 3 New Yorkers.
It's so clear that they're bagging on Friends this whole time.
Yeah, it's really good.
Miranda's like, how could these things afford a loft? Like, one of them's a waitress. The Carrie literally says one of them is a waitress.
It's
So
really good.
They're bagging on Friends for having these huge apartments, and I guess their way around it is just making them all rich.
Yeah, pretty much. It's like, oh, well, they're like 22, so they could never afford it. But these women who are like 35, they can afford it because they've got other jobs. Yeah, and Carrie's job isn't even really like, it doesn't make any sense. But
No, it's
did you guys also notice that this guy is basically just, he just look exactly like Jack Antonoff if he didn't have glasses?
That's so mean.
I mean,
don't
it is
know.
mean. I'm sorry.
Jack Antonoff is. Let me.
He's
Google.
just like a music guy. What is he, a producer? He like produced he does a lot for like Taylor Swift.
He
and Lorde
does.
and he was married to Lena Dunham.
Singer, musician, songwriter, and record producer. Yes, he looks
I think
exactly like
it's
this
just
guy.
his stupid. I think it's just a stupid ball cap. I think that's what it was.
His fucking hat. I hate this hat. Because
It's
he's wearing
weird.
like a Knicks hat.
Mhm.
Because obviously he's from New York. And then like he wears it later. We'll get to it. He wears it later on in like a fancy restaurant, and I wanted to hear him.
Oh my god!
Yeah.
Yes, I hated that so much.
It's very weird. So Miranda
Yeah.
goes to this date expecting that he's going to be like, ugh, LA people, right? And like cynical and complaining about everything with her, like, because he's a New Yorker.
Mm-hmm.
And then,
Yeah, they used to be miserable together, I guess.
Yeah, she
Mhm.
says that they used to complain about happy people at one point,
Mhm.
which I love. But
yes.
Yeah.
yeah, he's there, and apparently he's lost some weight, and he seems really happy. He says that like LA's been great for him. You know,
Mhm.
he's been just chill. He's been taking life a little bit slower, and instead of drinking beer, he's now drinking green tea. Which I just
Green
realized
tea.
I'm also drinking green tea, and that wasn't on purpose.
I mean, green tea's really good. I don't know if I'd
It
replace beer
is.
with it, but it's good.
No, I don't know. I mean, green tea with like vodka in it's probably fine.
I mean, I'd try
They
it,
serve
but I don't
different
know.
purposes, though.
Actually, I think there is like a Chinese cocktail that's green tea and like whiskey.
Hmm. I mean, I'd try like a matcha smoothie with like. I mean, that's totally different than like green tea, but like I would try that with alcohol in it.
Yeah, it's nice, but
Yeah.
he's really into it, and you know, and he says, "Let's go for a hike," which
My God.
ugh,
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
that's
really
exactly
felt
what I
for
want to
Miranda.
do. Yeah.
oh,
In the fucking LA heat. Yeah, let's go for a hike. That sounds delightful.
why do people who live in LA like they're always going for hikes? Like whenever I watch something and like someone lives in LA, they're always like, "Oh yeah, I was going for a hike the other day."
The
Why?
famously rural area of Los Angeles.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Totally.
they go like 20 minutes out of town. They're like, "Oh, it's the wilderness."
Mm.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. And Miranda's like she's like trying to be happy for him for like him being happy because he's like, you know, LA just suits me. New York, I was just miserable there all the time, and like she's like, oh well, that's really good for you that you're, you know, happy, I guess.
Mhm. And she's like,
good.
okay, I guess.
Yeah.
She's just
Yeah.
like,
guess.
she's a bit confused, but she's just taking it in stride. And then we go to the premiere or the after party of the show.
Mhm. Yep.
And they're still in that fucking car.
She still can't drive stick. Wasn't that supposed to be like the ending point of last week's episode? As she was like, if I could drive stick, I could do anything. And
I mean, she wasn't driving it well, but she was driving it better.
Oh, when they pull up, they skirt, like she
Yeah.
does a like
Yeah.
hard stop, and like Sam like smacks her. I don't know if she smacks her face or if she just smacks the car.
Yeah, she like gets out like kind of a bit like dizzy or
Yeah.
something.
Yeah,
yep,
that
it's
is
stressful.
that
to
is
me.
funny.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I like when there's continuity in a show like that.
watching last week's episode stressed me out because I bought a car this week and I went to go test drive it and it's stick and that's how I learned to drive, but I haven't driven standard in like 6 years. So I was like, I wonder how this is gonna go. Like watching Sex in the City and watching Carrie just go like just back and forth all the time. I was like, fuck, I'm gonna test drive this with this guy in the car and he's gonna be super embarrassed that like I don't know how to drive. And thankfully it turned out that it was not like that. So now I'm just even more embarrassed for Carrie.
Yeah.
I'm like, no, I don't understand. You pick it up fast.
You're
Like,
like,
once you're
this isn't
once you
hard, yeah.
know what you're doing. No.
Yeah. But they get out and they go to like the PR lady at the front and they're like, oh, can we come in? Did you guys recognize her? There's a lot of faces this episode.
I didn't recognize her, no.
She's Jan in the Brady Bunch movie.
Oh my god, is she? Really?
She's sure Jan herself.
Oh my god,
Wow.
like the one that goes Marsha, Marsha, Marsha.
Marsha. So she says to him, like, well, what's your name? Are you on the list? And they put up such a fucking show because, you know, Carrie's got her press pass and this woman's just doing her job. She's like, the press room is over there.
But she even says like, I'm press. Well, I have a column. So I was like, so you're not even impressed?
Like, she's not even,
what was
like,
your plan?
Yeah, she's not even, like, blagging. Like, she's not like, oh, I'm Carrie Bradshaw, here's my press pass, and then just walking in. She's like, oh, I'm press. I don't know. I'm just funny.
Yeah.
But so they obviously get turned away.
Mm-hmm.
And Carrie goes to have a smoke. And then Vince Vaughn walks out of a door.
Yes, he does.
Yeah.
He does. And he's on the phone to someone. He says to Carrie, like, I hope we have another one of those. And she gives him a cigarette. And, his name's Keith, and he's representing Matt Damon.
And he immediately recognizes what kind of cigarette it is from, like, a half of a puff or something. Like, he's like, oh, something's, eh? Great choice.
He says it's, like, full tar or something.
Yeah, full tar.
That they don't sell them in California.
A full tar cigarette?
They only do the diet ones.
I don't know what that means. Like, as someone who does smoke, I don't. There are definitely, like, different brands of cigarettes have a different taste and strength.
I don't know.
So you would take a hit of it and know if it was, like, a stronger one than what you usually have.
Yeah.
But
maybe it means there's, like, not as much of a filter on it or something.
Maybe, I don't know, but I don't know what he's on about with full tar. Because you don't want tar. Ideally.
Just clear eyes full tar, can't lose. I don't know what he was talking about. It took me a minute too to realize, like, is he supposed to be Vince Vaughn or is he supposed to be a character? Because he walks out and I'm like, well, it's LA.
Yeah, because, like, the show usually, like, for their boyfriends, they hire people who aren't, like, you know, stars. And at this point, Vince Vaughn was pretty big.
Yeah.
So it's kind of weird that he's there. But no, he's not Vince Vaughn. But in my notes, he is.
You just wrote Vince the whole time.
Yeah, VV.
Yeah, that's good.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he gets them into the party because he's like, I represent Matt Damon, I can get you in, and then he takes Carrie and Samantha into the party, and they just get right in, and
because they're with him.
His arms around them like he's a pimp. It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
And speaking of pimps, when they're in there, they see a very famous, semi-pimp. Hugh Hefner.
Self-pimp?
Yeah, he's kind of a pimp, in a way.
Yeah, they sure do see Hugh Hefner, and Samantha is, like, starstruck. She's like, this is the celebrity. Like, I am so excited. It's her idol. Apparently she's worshipped him since she was old enough to steal her dad's Playboys, which is the gayest thing I've ever heard.
Yeah.
And I love it.
I mean, it would be like if I saw Beyonce. Like, this is her reaction.
Yes,
And she goes over to him and she's like, "Oh, Mr. Hefner, I'm a huge fan." And he sees a pretty lady and he's like, "Stay and have a drink with us."
Mm-hmm.
And like, I do think this is so fucking fake, because he then apparently invites them out, but like, this is just a stranger, I guess, because she's pretty and he's an old creep.
She's pretty, but the thing is, realistically, like, would a Hugh Hefner ask, like, a 40-year-old woman to come to the Playboy mansion? Like,
No, she's 20 years far too old for him.
Exactly. I was like, this is extremely fake, but, I mean, okay, sure.
Did either of you watch, was it, I think it was Girls of the Playboy Mansion or something?
No.
It was like that reality TV show about
Girls Next Door,
Playboy
I think.
bunnies.
That's what it was called. Maybe.
What was it called?
Girls Next Door?
Yeah.
Like that.
Something like that.
I think I watched like half an episode once.
I sort of expected them, I think it was like, I can't remember their names now, but I expected them to be with him because they were always by his side in The House Bunny. Which is a great film. Listen, if you're bored, just watch The House Bunny. It's great.
Okay, maybe I'll look it up later.
If you want a Hugh Hefner cameo film, in fact, actually, he's quite a big plot point, then watch The House Bunny.
This is just taking me back to, like, okay, so, I mean, I guess kind of going back to Samantha being like, oh my god, I used to steal my dad's Playboys. This is just reminding me of being like, I don't know, maybe like 10 years old, and just like if you ever see a naked woman being like, why is this so interesting to me?
Oh, yeah.
This is okay. Well,
That reminds me of me being like 10 years old.
Yeah.
And I remember for some reason like Playboy branded things being so popular.
Oh, really?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yep.
My aunt seems to
Sweatpants
really
and stuff.
enjoy Playboy branded things. Like, I don't know. It doesn't make sense to me. Like, I swear to God, she had like a Playboy keychain once.
Oh my God, I really want like a Playboy bunny necklace or something. Like,
Oh my God.
I'm into that like aesthetic now so much. I really love it.
It's
But
okay.
My mom has a chair where the back of the chair is the Playboy bunny head.
Oh my God.
Oh,
Yes.
When I turned 18, I bought a Playboy magazine like the day after.
Oh my gosh.
just because I could.
well, now Playboy is like fucking David Harbour from Stranger Things is in Playboy. Like, it's not the same as it was.
It's different, yeah.
There was like a show on that was always like super late on at night, and I would like either sneak down or just stay up late to watch it, and it was called Sexcetera, and I think it was like a Playboy produced show, and it would just be like they would like talk about like weird sex fetishes and like go see people who would like want to dress as horses or something.
Mhm.
Okay.
or people who are like into tickling or like nudists. Like it would just go to these sort of like, I don't know, bespoke fetish places. And I would watch it as like a very confused, horny, like 12-year-old and be like, oh, okay, this is what human sexuality is like. And I honestly feel that like that explains where I'm at now.
I love it.
That was your
that checks
baseline
out.
to build on. Yeah.
Yeah, of people like running, like, you know, those people who are like, have that horse fetish where they like
Yes.
drag carts along. Yeah.
Pony
Mhm.
time or whatever.
Pony play. I would
Pony play.
watch that as a teen.
Oh my God.
I really just watched it because there were a lot of boobs.
That's a completely valid reason to watch something, to be honest.
But and then so Carrie's just flirting with Vince Vaughn, really.
Oh, yes. I do want to say, though, before we move on from Hugh Hefner, it's weird. Like, at first, it kind of made sense to me that, like, oh, of course, Samantha would, like, be really into Hugh Hefner because he's all sexed up and she's all sexed up. But, like, now that I'm thinking about it, it really kind of doesn't make sense to me because, like, Samantha is, like, her whole thing is that, like, she loves sex and she loves to have it and to touch it and whatever. But, like, Hugh Hefner's whole appeal is, like, he's the male gaze. Like, it never really seems like she's being sexy, like, for other people. And that's, like, the whole point of Playboy and the whole point of Hugh Hefner is, like,
yeah,
let me ogle you.
Yeah, it's a specific kind of sex appeal with Playboy that I don't think really appeals to Samantha's whole ideal, but
Right.
it would make sense that like her as a teenager kind of figuring out her sexuality, she would look at Playboy. Although she 100% feels more like a Playgirl, kind of like she definitely reads Playgirl.
Yeah, exactly.
As well, with like all the Playgirl is an interesting thing.
I've never actually like looked at one before, but I can definitely see the market.
Yeah. The only one I've seen is the Peter Steele one that he did. I don't know why, but that's the only like Playgirl that sticks in my mind. But yeah, I think it. But you're right. Like Samantha's whole thing is being sexy for herself. Like she kind of just exudes her own sex appeal, not trying to appease men particularly. But I feel like maybe like me, Playboy was her kind of baseline into horniness.
It makes sense.
Yes.
Yeah, but yeah.
Yes.
But anyway.
Carrie and Vince Vaughn
said, "Oh, I fucking hate this guy. I hate him so much because he goes, I have a lunch opening."
Yeah.
Like instead of just asking her out on a date, he's like, "Oh, I'm so busy, but I have a lunch opening, so like maybe we could do lunch."
It sucks ass.
Yeah.
I'm like, ugh. But Carrie's like, oh, I've been trying to see this place. I've been trying to go for lunch at this place like all week, so
Right.
maybe I should.
Yep.
And yeah, that's pretty much it. And then they go to the VIP room.
Sure do.
Mhm.
I feel like no matter what, like, getting invited to this seems very weird to me, because it's like, unless you're an actual actor or something, it
Mhm.
seems like, why would you be a VIP?
Yeah, unless you
Yeah.
were, I guess if you were an actor or like a director, if you were part of the film, you would be in the VIP room, or just,
Yeah.
very famous.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
But-
I guess it's because
Whatever.
like the assumption would be that like Matt Damon is in the movie, maybe.
Yeah, Matt Damon's in the movie, and then because he's Matt Damon's agent / friend.
Right.
Although all right, so should I spoil it? Like, it's a fucking podcast; it doesn't really matter. We find
Yeah.
out later that he's actually just a personal assistant, but like his fake job is really vague because he says that like, oh, he represents him, so okay, so he's obviously an agent or a manager or something.
Uh-huh.
But then he's producing some sitcom. I don't,
When
because
does he
like Carrie's like,
say
oh,
that?
I think Carrie says something like, oh, I should get into the sitcom market or something. Like she makes it sound like he's a
No.
producer.
No, Miranda says that to the writer
I
guy
swear
later.
Carrie says something. It's kind of vague.
Either way, this guy certainly does not have any reason to be getting VIP access.
No.
I don't even know why he's at this party in the first place.
No, yeah.
No, I don't either.
And
Like when
then he
you
has,
find
like,
out he's a
2 plus
personal
ones.
assistant.
Yeah.
When you find out he's a personal assistant, it doesn't make sense that he could just go to the front entrance and say, "Oh, let me in. Like, by the way, I have 2 other people."
Mhm.
That wouldn't fly. You can't just be a
No.
personal assistant and do that.
I would guess his name is on the list as a personal assistant. Like maybe he's like a very personal
Exactly.
assistant.
Oh.
That sounds
But yeah, he would
Yeah.
if he was, say, Matt Damon's assistant, then it would be assistant to Matt Damon. So it would be like Matt Damon +1. and
oh
then his
yeah.
name.
hmm Not
So it wouldn't be just him.
right. Him
Yeah.
and whoever he wants to bring in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Truly.
It doesn't make sense. Anyway,
Then we go to
because
Charlotte.
we could talk about, we do have Charlotte, and she's all gussied up because they've just come back from a black tie doctor's event. I don't know what that is.
She looks beautiful, though.
She does. She's wearing like a strapless black, like it looks almost like a slip, but it's strapless. It's really cute.
It's very classic. Yeah.
It's lovely. She looks like Audrey Hepburn.
Mhm.
She does,
The one
yeah.
string of pearls in her hair on the side and everything.
I know. She is like a princess. She's an American princess.
Mhm.
And she's
She
sort of
is.
cuddling up a tray, and she's like, "Oh, doctor, I was wondering if you could help me out." And
Dr.
he
McDougal.
immediately, Dr. McDougal.
Dr. McDougal.
I
she's
can't.
like,
I
have
can't
an
imagine
itch.
getting like an appointment in to see a Dr. McDougal. But then again, I don't live in Scotland, so maybe there are plenty of Dr. McDougals, and I've just offended everyone.
Possibly. I don't think they listen to this, though. Especially after we called out doctors like 10 episodes ago. They were probably like, fuck this. I'm not listening anymore.
That's why they don't listen.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, we have a huge Scottish fan base, but no doctors. Yeah, but so she's trying to obviously initiate sex, and he is not having any of it, as you would expect.
Just fucking walks
Like
away.
immediately annoyed that she even tried.
She even tried that your wife tried to have sex with you.
He's going for a run.
Stop touching my pee-pee. Now
Yeah.
I'm stressed. But he's like, oh, Miss Doctor blah blah blah. And he's like, no, and he runs and he like grabs his shorts. And then like she like while they're talking, he's like grabbing his shoes and he's like, now you stress me out, now I have to go for a run. It's like, you made that decision so quickly.
That's like it's a very serial killer move.
It's something.
Don't touch me.
And
I'm gonna
Yeah.
leave the
Yeah.
apartment for an hour.
It feels
Okay.
like something Ted Bundy would have said. Like, no, I need to go on a run. Like it does very much feel like if Glenn Howerton's character in It's Always Sunny just said, no, don't touch my dick, I need to go for a run.
oh my god.
Yeah. And it's like,
and we also
But I was gonna say she also suggests Viagra, and he's like, no.
yeah,
we finally
yeah.
learn. We finally learn
He's like,
because he's like, oh, it's a cure
never.
for men with heart problems, and yeah, I guess his dad died of a heart attack, so he's like, no, I don't want to do it, which is like a valid reason, but there's other
Mhm.
alternatives, I think, but
Yeah. But he's also like, he seems like he's offended that she would even mention it. And he's just like, I don't know what else to do. And also, I didn't know that thing about your dad. So, like,
just
what?
eat her out. Like, what's the problem?
Right?
Like, if you can't
Like,
get it up, it doesn't mean you can't do something for her.
That is the weirdest part.
People have sex without dicks all the fucking time.
Yeah, exactly. You don't need it. Like, he's not going to get off, but that's not Charlotte's problem. So,
Yeah.
Yeah, and he really does act offended that she would even bring up boner medication when she's his wife who wants to have sex with him.
dick growing juice.
Yeah. Also, they definitely
Bone making juice.
Bone growing juice.
Yeah.
No, it's not that. But
It's just like in Harry Potter. What was the
Skelligro? I
Yeah.
think it was Skelligro.
Oh
Yeah.
my god.
But don't you think, I feel like this does come up later, but they definitely seem like the type of wasps who need to have children.
Yeah, they do. There's no way Bunny's not putting pressure on Trey. Like, is Trey an only child? He seems like an only child.
Oh, definitely.
Seems like
yeah. Like, Bunny wants children for sure. Like, grandchildren, I guess, I mean. But,
Yeah.
Right.
yeah. And Charlotte is like, she's like mid-30s, so she's still got, like, time to have kids. But, you know.
Yeah, but it's definitely like, I don't know. We will find out. We will learn more. Actually, I was listening to you guys know the podcast of Blank Check with Griffin and David.
I do not.
It's just it's about movies and they talk about directors and go through different directors' filmographies. Well, I was listening to the show about one of my favorite movies, Showgirls,
Yes.
today, and they were talking about how like Kyle MacLachlan always plays creeps, and they specifically brought up Sex and the City. I forgot, but they're like, oh, he gets creepier. Like, he gets a
Yeah.
lot creepier. He really does go into full Bundy territory.
We get some
He's
real
just-
fucked up stuff. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, like, I don't remember the rest of the season, so, like, I don't know if how creepy he gets, but, like, it's definitely just, like, very waspy, repressed, like, and then the, like, toxic masculinity level of it, too, where he's just like, yes, I have a problem. No, we're not going to talk about it or fix it. Like, how dare you?
Uh-huh.
Like, it's,
And yeah, like, how dare she even mention it? Like, how dare she
Right.
even want to have sex? And have
he's like,
a
hey, we
sex-
tried one time and it didn't work, so that's done now.
So we're not doing it ever. And
We're not
why would
doing
a
it.
woman ever want to have a healthy and sex life?
Yeah.
I don't
Yeah.
know. So I'm excited to delve more into Trey's storyline since I listened to that and thought about just how weird it does get.
How come Charlotte doesn't just put her hand on his arm and do the rub thing and, you know, the thing that she was doing like a few episodes
Why-
ago?
Why doesn't she just put her hand on his pee-pee and do the rub thing?
Well, she
Ooh.
tried.
Think about that.
She tried, but then he was like, "I need to go for a run."
Yeah. It's weird that, like,
Well-
if that makes him nervous and gives him a like, buildup of energy, channel that, man. Channel it.
Yeah, true. You got to work through. Like, if you're nervous, you need to work through nerves. So, same goes for dick nerves.
Right.
But yeah, he has to. He has to return some videotapes.
Huh?
And then that's it. And she's just like, she's had enough. So she decides to fly over to Los Angeles.
Yes. She knocks on
Yep.
Carrie's door and she's like, we still haven't had sex. Trace boner doesn't work. And Carrie's like, you could have called me.
Yeah. She's like, it would have been more economical, but since you're here, cool.
Yeah.
I do know that rich people can just run away from their problems. Like,
Oh my god.
Mhm.
If my parents were rich, I wouldn't. I would be in like Aruba or something right now. I would move
Yeah.
away every couple of months.
Right? You like move away from Aruba to go to the Bahamas to escape your
Yeah.
Aruba problems.
I would Don Draper myself. I would have about 5 different aliases. I would I would Don Draper someone. I'd kill them and take their name.
Yeah.
And you know what? It's very respectful of Charlotte because Trey is like, I don't want to deal with this. I'm gonna go run. And she's like, okay, we won't talk about it. I won't even be in the same city as you or state.
I have a feeling she just wrote a note and left it. Like, she didn't even tell him.
She definitely
great
wrote it on a
for your
pink
marriage.
Post-it and left it on the table. But
yeah. And Carrie's like, okay, well, I have a date. But Miranda and Samantha are downstairs, so go talk to them. They're by the pool. And then Charlotte sticks her head out and looks at the sexy, naked, muscly man and just gets so fucking horny.
She fucking loves it. She loves the shit. I mean, Charlotte hasn't slammed the nut button in, like, how long now? Like, maybe 7 months or so? Like, it's been a while.
Do you think she's jacking off?
I really don't
think so.
Like, would touch her button.
Because, I don't know, she
I mean,
must be.
Clearly she has devices that allow that, so she's done it in the past. But, like, I feel like as soon as she met Trey, she was probably like, never mind, I don't need that anymore.
Yeah, and
yeah, she's like, I'm gonna store my sexual energy and keep it. No.
I think she like quit cold turkey on her rabbit after she realized she had a problem, and then just never went back ever again.
Yeesh.
And
yeah, she's like an addict, like a literal addict. I think she's just like one of those people that's like when she's in a relationship, she doesn't. Because she's like, no, if I'm gonna have an orgasm, which she's not, the type of men she's sleeping with never gonna give her an orgasm. But she's like, no, I'm not. I'm just gonna not do it because I'm pure and I wear the Alice bands.
I probably would think that it was cheating.
Yeah, she gets super horny. And she's happy because she's
loves to see
wanting to fuck. She loves to see it, and don't we all?
She likes it. She loves it.
Okay, so can we talk about Samantha's hat?
Yes, we can. She looks like a trash can. She looks like a trash can at the park.
Yeah, she has this hat that's like a fan blade. Like, she looks like Kung Lao from Mortal Kombat.
Oh my god. I think I need to go back and look at this. I missed it.
It's like, like a hat, but then it has like parts cut out of it. It's amazing.
Like bicycle spokes or like fan blades, but like
Oh,
but it looks like
that.
one
right.
Like a wheel,
you know,
on her head. She was great.
It's very good. It is extremely good.
It is. But Carrie basically says that she's been doing a lot of shopping and it's been taking a real cut out of her bank account. And then she sees a guy that's selling a fake handbag, so she buys one.
For $150, which is not a lot.
I mean, for a good fake, that's not bad.
No, but
I still couldn't.
I don't have money for. I don't have an issue with fake designer shit, really.
I'm kind of like whatever.
I don't care. I've had I remember I used to, like, me and my family used to go shopping down at Wembley Market, gang, and they used to sell like a lot of like really bad knockoff designer stuff, and I used to have loads as a child.
I just don't understand what the point of buying like real stuff is when it's like whenever I see someone who has like a designer bag, I just assume it's fake because I'm assuming you're not going to spend like hundreds or thousands of dollars on a bag. So unless they're like actually rich, in which case I'd be like, okay, maybe it's real. But
yeah, I feel like the like margin that I'm in or whatever of like the economy, if somebody was like, I have a $3,000 bag, I would be like, what is wrong with you? Like, that's not a positive.
Like, no, that's rent.
Yeah, like to have like the thing to show off would be like, I got a great deal on this, or like I didn't pay a lot of money.
Yeah, like I have some Burberry stuff because my sister used to work there. But she got me a lot of stuff with like the Burberry print on it, and I feel like designer things which are very like obviously designer, like something with like a big Gucci thing on it or whatever, looks so fake.
Yeah.
So I don't really use them or like wear them very often because I'm just like, everyone's gonna think it's fake anyway. And it looks tacky, even though it's trendy at the moment to have like a big ostentatious like Gucci bag or t-shirt or whatever.
Yeah. I definitely know what you mean.
I was taken in once by a fake because I was at like a Chinese restaurant with my family, and there was this kid at the table next to me wearing a bathing ape shirt, and I was like,
Oh yeah.
"What? How does this kid have a Bape T-shirt on in the suburbs? Like that must have cost him like $100 or something, like over $100." And then I searched on Amazon, and like that specific design was like $15 for a T-shirt. I was like,
Nice.
okay, never mind.
Yeah, in a
That
way,
was
it's
impressed
kind of
for a minute.
in a way it's kind of cooler to have a fake because then you've got like a little secret, you know.
Oh, true.
Mm.
Yeah, it's like a little white lie to everybody.
Yeah.
Mhm.
But that's it. It's a very short scene.
Mhm.
Mhm. Yeah, and then we go to Carrie is going with Keith, and he's looking at this house, and basically, if you want to imagine what it looks like, it's basically BoJack Horseman's house.
Oh my
It
god!
Yeah.
looks like that. So,
It is.
Alternatively, it's like where a Bond villain would live.
yeah,
Mhm.
exactly.
There's-
Like huge
there's no
windows.
Like no furniture, just humongous rooms. Yes.
Yeah, just all glass. Like it's weird, but
Yeah,
Carrie's
which is why
amazed.
they kiss
It's-
against the window because there's no furniture. So
The whole time I was like, okay, maybe this is just me, but I was like, stop touching the glass because you're gonna make it so fingerprinty.
Yes,
She puts her
same.
whole
Oh my
hand-
god.
Like this house would fucking suck to clean.
Yeah. I mean, well, if you're rich enough to buy this $3.4 million house, you're not cleaning it. Someone else is.
I know, but I would still feel bad. Like, oh, this house is all glass. Good luck.
Mhm.
Mhm.
Yeah,
So
same.
so they're at this house, and he's like, "What do you think? Should I buy it? It's only 3.4 million." And she's like, "Oh my god, yes, it's great." And then the real estate agent, whatever, is like, you guys want to see the hot tub?" And they're like, "Yeah, let's see the hot tub." And that's the whole thing. Like basically
That's
just
the
Carrie
whole-
being impressed.
It's the whole thing of like, yeah,
Aw.
there seems to be like a regular theme of like New York is small, and which is
Yeah.
true. There is, there's bigger places to live in LA than there is in New York, but that's the running theme of the episode, really.
Everything's bigger in LA. I guess.
Everything's
Well,
bigger.
everything's-
That's what they say.
Everything's nicer in LA.
Yeah, that's
Even
true.
people
Mm.
think about it.
And then we go to breakfast, and Miranda. This is okay. So Miranda's wearing like a pastel rainbow
Yes.
blazer.
Happy
happy fucking pride.
Pride.
And then Samantha is wearing a Louis Vuitton visor, and I love it.
It's
I
good.
love it.
Is
They
this
look
where she
so
shows
good.
them? Is this where she shows them her fake Fendi?
Yeah, she shows it
This is
off.
the
It's
first
like
time
a
after-
gold little Fendi baguette,
Because
and
there's an amazing exchange in this because she's like, look at this Fendi purse I got, and Charlotte is like, this must have been $3,000, and she's like, nope, it's only it's only 150 or whatever, and they open it up and just like 15 condoms fall out of it, and Charlotte goes, could you fit more condoms in there? Or like, could you put more condoms in there? And Sam goes, I could. Or like, no, I did.
Yeah. Yeah, I had more.
yeah,
I had
I
more.
wrote that down too. It was so good.
It's so good. She has
I
two
love
really
it.
good
She's
lines because
so
she says
good at her.
that. Yeah, she had that line, and then she also had the one where Miranda was talking about how great Lou was now, like how he's so perfect, and like, oh my god, it's like, the heart of a New Yorker, but he doesn't have all these neuroses anymore. And Carrie's like, well, aren't we supposed to like neurotic guys? And then Samantha, the queen, is like, honey, the Woody Allen thing is so over.
I know.
I loved it so much.
Oh,
And
it's so
Charlotte
good.
nodded furiously. They were both so good. Yeah.
Yes.
Right.
That's always
It
true.
was. I mean, was it ever in? But it's definitely out.
It's definitely out.
Definitely out. But yes, Miranda's like in love with him. She's like, he's perfect. He's just so chill now, but he's not like one of those LA guys who's really fake and phony. Like, he's perfect.
Mm-hmm.
And it doesn't even, I don't know, like, they don't really seem to have much chemistry. Like, they seem like friends. They don't seem like
Yeah.
they're anything more.
100%. Yeah.
But she just decided she's going to marry him now, so that's fine.
Totally makes sense. He lives on the other coast. It would work. So.
Uh-huh. They make a comment about how, like, Charlotte, I think one of them says, like, oh, Charlotte, you're not going to tell us about how much sex you're having now that you're a married woman. And Charlotte just looks into the camera.
Yeah.
Yeah, because yeah, we learn that Carrie's the only person who knows still, so.
And they make a suggestion that Samantha and Miranda make a suggestion that she gets a bikini wax.
Yeah.
Yes, well, because she does then say, like, my marriage is a fake Fendi bag, which is it's such a Sex in the City thing for, like, they have to connect the stories. It's like,
yeah,
you can just say it's not, like, his wiener doesn't work. You don't have to connect it to what else is happening.
No, but yeah, they say that, like,
plot. It's not.
Oh, it's.
And then they're like, well, he's never been to Brazil.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, maybe he'll love it.
So yeah, Carrie seems to be liking LA. We get a question because she goes back to hotel room.
I didn't think we were gonna get a question this week, and I was pissed off that we did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because the only way to tell if the bag is fake is that it doesn't have the lining. So, is it what's on the outside that counts?
Oh, that was that's the question. It's like, maybe maybe the real bag is the friends we made along the way.
Maybe we are all fake Fendi bags.
We are. Yeah, because it's like, when it comes to bags, men and cities, is it really just what's on the outside? And she also goes off on this whole thing about how New Yorkers are supposed to hate LA because it's supposed to be, like, super superficial and not very intellectual. And I'm just like, I feel like, does New York have like, I mean, I guess LA more than other cities, but, like, I don't know. It's not like New York is known for being, like, the intellectual hub of the world or something. Like,
it's not fucking like ancient Babylon.
I think people in New York think it is.
That's true.
Well, I think everyone is like, my city's the best, you know?
Yeah.
But the only, like, difference between LA, for some reason I remember someone saying, like, the difference between LA and New York is that New York has a lot more brunettes.
Yep. Yeah, and LA has all blondes.
Yeah.
That's
it. Yeah. But yeah. And then where do we go next?
Oh, and then we go to Samantha, who's taking Carrie to get her own fake bag. They drove 2 hours out into the valley to get a fake bag, I guess. And
I love Samantha has never heard of the Valley before.
She's like, he lives in this place called the Valley. I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly.
Right?
It's good. Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, all the stuff I've watched that's, like, set in LA, I still don't really know what the Valley is. Like, I know what a valley is, but they're just like, oh, he lives in the Valley.
To be fair, yeah, I don't either, but I would know well enough not to be like, it's in this place called the Valley? What is that?
Yeah.
He lives by a river?
Right. Like,
Yeah.
she lives on between two mountains, apparently.
Well, it's like when you say they live in the hills. Like, I figured out where that is. It's in the hills.
Of Hollywood.
Yeah. Samantha doesn't know
They
anything.
go there and it's like, I guess, you know, it's like the bad place. It's all... There's barking dogs and they fucking scream.
Carrie fully screams
Howl.
both times the dogs bark from like 10 feet away from her behind her. She's like, ah!
Do you not know what dogs are? They have dogs in New York. I've seen them.
Do. Pete was a dog in New York. She
She knows who Pete is. But these dogs, like, every time these dogs bark, they freak out.
Mm-hmm.
Carrie is wearing a bodice of like Marie Antoinette's bodice over a pair of jeans, and I love it.
Yes.
Samantha's sexy Santa Claus. And I love
Yes!
it.
Oh my god, I forgot about this. Yes, she is sexy Santa Claus. She's wearing like a crop, I mean, not a crop top, a boob tube, a shirt with no sleeves or straps, and then capri pants with like white fur cuffs. And I think it's like hot pink, but it looks red at first.
Yeah, it's very pinkish red, yeah.
This is what I would wear to go buy fake handbags.
It's really good.
It is excellent.
They go over to them and this guy's just literally out the back of a car and
Mhm.
they're looking at them, and Carrie gets an icky feeling because she'd always know it was fake, and it's just not the same.
Mhm.
And the guy's like, "Can you not smoke by the bags?" And she gets all grumpy and wants to leave. And
Yeah, yeah.
Samantha is annoyed because they drove 2 hours to get there.
That is a long drive to look
Long
for 2 seconds and decide, no, I'm turning 360 degrees and driving out of the valley. Like,
Yes. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
but
It's
I mean,
a very
okay.
short range.
Yeah, I feel like in those 2 hours I would have figured out if I was cool with having a fake or not.
Well,
think so, but
you don't know until you look at it.
Yeah.
I think
Yeah.
Carrie, that's just how long it takes her brain to process anything. She's like, I don't know, do I want this? And then they've driven 2 hours, and then suddenly her brain has been able to process it. So,
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then they go and have cocktails, and this is why she's wearing that giant Panama hat.
yes, and she's got those Dior rings on her
The
fingers.
Dior, like, fucking knuckle rings. Like, it's like if Dior, I mean, I know they're separate rings, but it kind of looks like a
Knuckles?
knuckle. It was, yeah, like brass knuckles.
Yes.
And it's great. And this is where Charlotte's like, my marriage is a fake Fendi bag. I've never fucked.
Mm-hmm.
She's never once fucked.
Never fucked. It sounds like, well, the way she's saying it's like she's never had sex in her life. She's like, I've never had sex. Not I've never had sex with Trey.
Yeah. We've never had sex. I've never had sex.
No. We've never had sex. You say we, not I. But she keeps saying I've never had sex.
Yeah, because
But
one of them is like, you haven't slept with him? And she's like, I have never had sex.
yeah, if she said that, I think, wait, you lied every single time you dated a guy? She's a virgin. She's a born again virgin. I would love if she was a born again virgin. But they say, oh, this is where Samantha suggests a trip to the Playboy mansion.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and
Yes,
Carrie's
'cause
like, what, do you think Charlotte's a 22-year-old frat boy?
And Samantha's like, but we might meet some. Why do you want to fuck a 22-year-old frat boy?
Why would you want to be with a guy that is at a Playboy bunny party?
Yeah, I mean, I'm a 22-year-old. I don't want to fuck a 22-year-old frat boy at a Playboy bunny party, but I would probably still go to a Playboy party, like, right now.
Oh, yeah. I mean, yeah. There's a hot tub.
but
I'd
not-
probably go just for
not-
shits.
Not for the boys.
Oh,
Yeah.
have Carrie hasn't gone to, have Carrie and Vince gone to the hot tub yet?
No, that's coming up. I think it's right after this.
It's right after this, because after that they go, Keith, she's like at, well, what is allegedly Keith's mansion, and they're in the hot tub just making out, and she takes off her bikini bottom, I guess, and that's like
Very
pretty much
irresponsible.
it. They're getting sexy, I guess.
Yeah, have fun with your UTI, Carrie.
Yeah, probably a bad idea.
And then we see Miranda and Lou going on a date, which this was a lot. So
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe we should give some kind of a content warning for, eating disorder stuff at this point.
Yeah. They go to like a steak restaurant, and he chooses steak. Like, choose it.
New
It seems
York
to be like
strip steak or something
New
like that.
York, because they're from New York. But he chews it for like a set number of time, and he also counts as well how many times he's chewed it, and then he spits it onto his napkin.
And then he cuts himself another piece and does it again.
And yeah, it's doing the same little like humming noise of counting. It's a lot. And so Miranda's like, what are you doing? And he says, do you think I lost all that weight from eating? And apparently like, the stress of LA has been so bad that he's developed an eating disorder. And Miranda says, you're a writer. Like, why would you need to care about looks? And apparently, like, they don't even hire fat writers.
Yeah.
That's what he says.
Yeah, and it's just like really, I mean, it's very uncomfortable. Miranda is just she just continues to eat her steak.
She does. She does.
Yeah.
I'm just imagining the amount of food he's amassing in his napkin is probably a lot.
Yeah.
I do wonder about the waiter who like lifts it up and throws a napkin in the wash, and then it's just all food in there.
Like, ask for a side plate or something. I don't know.
Yeah,
Nap.
or don't have the steak. Order a salad.
Right. Yes.
Yeah, it's very strange. I mean, it's not that eating disorders are strange. It's just how it's portrayed is very strange. Because there's this Sex and the City. It has the same amount as tact as a fucking orange.
For sure. I think what's strange about it is how upfront they make it, where it's not like it's something that he's even remotely trying to, pretend he's not doing. It's like very, like, Miranda notices it like immediately. And
Carrie's voiceover says it's an eating disorder. Like, we're not.
And he's like saying it like it's his tactic. Like, he's not like, no, this is fine. He's like, yes, I do have an eating disorder because I have to stay thin. And it's like,
yeah,
it's quite a drop off from.
It is quite a drop off. I don't think people with eating disorders tend to go to very fancy restaurants and eat publicly all the time. Like, that's the thing. It's like, well, this isn't like a realistic portrayal. It's just like, it's Sex and the City. He's got an eating disorder. Womp womp.
Right.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah. But I mean, I guess more importantly, he's wearing his Knicks hat in this like very fancy restaurant, which I really hate him for.
I really didn't like it.
Miranda's wearing like a sexy little black dress.
Everyone else in the restaurant looks nice.
Everyone else is like at dinner.
But he's wearing a Knicks hat so that Miranda can be like, but you're wearing a Knicks hat.
Right? Like, I mean, it's like, did they think we have face blindness and we wouldn't recognize that he's the same person? So he needs to have the hat.
And like Miranda wouldn't remember that he still likes the Knicks unless he's wearing the hat.
Yeah, she wouldn't remember that he's from New York if not for the New York accent he has and the fact that we already established he was from New York, and
that's where she knows him from.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's also like a Carrie voiceover comment that's like, oh, well, she knew that he wasn't really a New Yorker anymore because no New Yorker would ever waste a steak that expensive or something. And I'm just like, people in New York have eating disorders too. It's not like a specific to one city thing. Like, what do you...
No, eating disorders are located only on the West Coast. Nowhere else has anyone got an eating disorder unless you're in California.
Only people with yellow hair. And those are only in Los Angeles. Yeah,
exactly.
That's just the only place.
I almost would have appreciated it more, or like, I think it would have been done better. It literally, if they hadn't called it an eating disorder, like if he had just been like, yeah, I'm on this fad diet. It's the aroma diet. Or like, because he's doing it on purpose.
I think if you're... Exactly. It's like, almost not if it wasn't like a compulsive eating disorder, or if she just said, oh no, it's a fad diet, it's a new diet, everyone's doing it, and then maybe she looks around like other people are actually spitting out their food, right?
Because it's one thing if it's like, oh, he has like poor body image and thinks that he has to like it's one thing if it's like kind of internally motivated, but he acknowledges that it's because other people think that he weighs too much if he doesn't do this, and it's like, I don't know. It's just very weird. So
it's just weird. Like it's a weird choice. But I mean, that is the show. It's the 90s. I actually know it's like 2000 now, so it's not the 90s. So we can't even use that excuse.
I'd like to.
Yeah, and that's the end of their date. So we jump right to the Playboy Mansion after that, right? Before the Playboy Mansion, we go to Carrie and Keith in bed. And, like, they've clearly had sex and everything, and this is the part where we get another cameo. So this is our third cameo of the episode. We get Carrie Fisher.
Yay!
Which fucking rules. I love her so much. She comes in. Yes, this is where we learn that he's not a fucking agent.
Yeah,
I thought she was playing, like, a different... Like, I thought she was playing, like, a nameless famous person, but she's actually playing herself. Carrie Fisher.
She is. It's great. Cool. Because she's like, I told you not to bring prostitutes to my house when you were house sitting. So apparently he's done that before, but he hired a girl. And she keeps saying that Carrie's a sex worker. But Carrie, like, she does eventually call out in the funniest way possible. Like, she gets up and throws a sheet around her. And she's like, oh, I'm actually I'm not. I'm a writer, and my name's Carrie, and you're Carrie, and you're a writer, and
Carrie Fisher's just like, I don't have time for this. Like, what? Like, just leave.
she's like, I have a child.
I'm a child.
I have a
I have a child. Like star of the screen, Billy Lord, which I love. I do love a shout out to Billy.
Me too.
Yeah, she's like, look, I do love this performance because she's like, okay, that's very nice. Just please get out of my home. I do have a child.
And Vince turns to Carrie Fisher and he's like, he picks up his cell phone and he's like, this was always on. She's like, I don't care, get out.
Yeah.
And like the other thing of Carrie Fisher's like, oh, I'm gonna have to tell Penny and Ben. And so apparently he's also the assistant to Penny Marshall and Ben Affleck.
No. And Matt Damon, assumably, right? Like,
presumably Matt Damon. Well, because obviously Ben and Matt would share an assistant. Like,
of course, yeah.
Matt Damon and Ben Affleck are the Alex and Stephanie of the Hollywood world.
Oh, really? Really?
They wish they were us.
Yeah, true. We could make Goodwill Mowing. Like, that's what we could do to be.
Yeah. Bad Will Hunting coming to a cinema near you.
Yeah. Oh
and yeah, so she like carried leaves with the sheet still wrapped around her because this is a comedy show.
I mean, I think she,
and
like,
then we go to the Playboy Mansion.
Carrie Fisher is like, you're gonna need these, and like holds out.
She like, picks up her like bikini bottoms and her hat, and presumably that's her outfit.
Yeah.
And yeah, then we're at the Playboy Mansion, and we're all in our little caftans and bikinis. I love it.
Mm-hmm.
It's so good.
It's so good. Yeah, Carrie's annoyed. They're all kind of irritated by this point. Like, they don't want to be in LA anymore.
They do not.
Yeah, they're
Except
over
for
it.
Charlotte.
But I mean,
well, because Charlotte is the Pollyanna of the show. She's always
that's
happy.
true.
The other girls like don't like LA because it's not New York, but Charlotte likes LA because it's not New York. Like, she's still in that phase of the whole situation. And like,
yeah,
when
she's still in this sort of like honeymoon phase, you would say.
And like when she first goes to brunch, she's like, "Can I get the blah blah blah, but with no eggs and broccoli instead of blah and this and that and just water?" And then the waitress is like, "Can I suggest you steam the mushrooms? It's less fatty." It's like, yeah,
steamed
great.
mushroom sounds disgusting.
It sounds awful,
Yes.
but I also don't like mushrooms, so I'm biased. But
I love mushrooms, but yeah.
But yeah, so
Where
she's
do you-
still convinced it's like still a good match for her.
Yeah.
yeah,
So then we see, so they all sort of split up, and Charlotte's talking to this creepy old man about like Hockney, because you forget that Charlotte has a job and she's probably got like a degree in art or something.
Yes.
And that her entire job is gallery curation. So it's nice to see her talk about it, and her and this guy, and he's like, "Oh, it's so nice to talk to like a really smart woman." You're at the Playboy Mansion. Why did you want to talk about fucking art? Like, what did you expect? You can't like. I mean, first of all, it's so condescending, but also, I mean, I imagine if you're the type of man who goes to the Playboy Mansion for parties, you don't really care if a woman's what she got to say. You just care if she's got big tits.
Because doesn't he say something too where he's like, it's not often, you get to talk to a woman who's smart and beautiful, something like that.
Yeah.
Ugh, gross.
You're both things.
And she's like, do you know what? It's so nice to talk to a man who talks, because she's a bit tipsy. And he says, "Oh, let me buy you some boobs."
She's like, "Excuse me? I don't need boobs."
I mean, part of me is like, I would love to meet a man who's just willing to pay for plastic surgery for me, like after speaking for maybe 10 minutes.
Right? Like, do you think he's
God,
being really
truly.
generous, or do you think he doesn't want to sleep with her unless she has bigger boobs than she has? Like, is he doing it for her?
I think that he's just like, he's probably looking for a sugar baby. So he's like, listen, this is the way in. I will buy you boobs, and then you're kind of indebted to me, you know?
We have one conversation about honor for several thousands of dollars.
It's strange. He's a peculiar man. She's like, I don't need boobs, and she storms off, and Carrie says that she remembered how horrible the single life is, and she's ready to be married again.
Right. Which, because there are two options, right? There's your tepid husband or the worst, creepiest guys in the world.
Yeah, there's being an unsatisfying marriage or be miserably single.
Yeah.
Yeah, good thing there's no middle ground. Yeah.
There are two men in the world, and she's just talked to the one of them, and she's sick of him, and she's ready to go back to the other one.
Yeah, it's either men who want to fuck you or men who don't.
It's, you know what? It's like they always say, there aren't fish in the sea.
That's very true. There sure aren't.
So then, Samantha comes storming in, and we find out that someone stole her Fendi.
I don't know how this happened, but...
Yeah, she put her bag down, and someone took it.
Yeah.
And she sees one of the bunnies with it. So she goes over, her and Charlotte, and she like accuses her of stealing it. And then Hef comes by because he obviously sees the commotion.
And the bunny's like, I didn't steal your bag. And Hef's like, she says she didn't.
Yeah.
Which is
so
great.
She opens it up because Samantha's like, look, if you open it, it will say made in China and there'll be loads of condoms in it.
This is such a good way to describe your bag to know it's yours.
Right.
I know. Oh, God.
It's fake as fuck and it's full of... Yeah.
It's fake and it's full of condoms.
Yeah.
And then the bunny opens the bag and it just says Fendi on the inside and it's not fake. And then Carrie's voice...
It's real. It's real because, you know, she's got a high-paying job and she's living rent-free.
Carrie's voiceover says something that I did not enjoy, which is Samantha assumed that everything about the bunny was fake, blah, blah, blah. And it's just like, I don't know why that like bothers me so much that like it's not like she has a fake body. Like
no, or personality or any like we don't know anything about this woman. Like she's literally just at the party.
And even if she's had like plastic surgery, which like assumedly you're supposed to guess that she has, like it's still real. Like it's not. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's like when people like, oh, I don't like when you wear makeup because that's fake. Just pretend.
It's not real. Like I prefer my girls to not wear any makeup, but obviously, if you showed up on the date and you're not wearing makeup, they'll assume you're dying.
Right. Are you sick?
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, and then Hef gets her kicked out.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Because she's very
just like one nod to the bouncer and he goes to escort her out and Samantha's like, look, I'm not leaving without my friends. And Charlotte's just like, oh, okay, I'll go get them.
But then
they do find them pretty fast. Yeah.
Get an amazing 2-word line from Miranda.
Mm-hmm.
Because
they're
in the tally time. Yes. They're in a cave for some reason.
They're in the grotto. So harking back to like 2000s Playboy obsession.
Mm-hmm.
They had like an episode of Cribs where they're at the Playboy mansion.
Oh my god, I'm not surprised, but yeah.
Yeah, so basically they like in the pool they've got like a little cave like that you can swim under and that's where they are.
And
they're in the grotto. And for some reason, I have this false memory that like something really salacious was going on.
I mean, if you watched it when you were younger, maybe you would remember that as being salacious because there's like 16 boobs in like 10 seconds.
There's a lot. I wanted to count them, but it was like there's so many.
If there was an actual titty tally, then we would have had to pause to count the individual breasts. Like there were a lot.
There were a lot.
Yeah.
I just. Obviously, in my childhood mind, I thought that like there was something really just like they were just fucking having an orgy in there, but no, they're just like swimming topless. It's pretty fine. And yeah, who wants to have the honors of saying Miranda's line?
Say it.
Yeah, you're our guest.
It's soup.
mean, that's my favorite kind of soup.
Neither of them say anything to each other before either. It's just you see it and then Miranda, tit soup.
Tit soup.
I would get soup more often at restaurants if that's what it was.
If it was just titties.
If that was the
my
special
nickname-
of the day, I'd get soup every time.
My nickname for the day for this episode was like going to be I'm like this side of breadsticks you get with tit soup, but I didn't want to ruin their wonderful reveal.
It's so good.
Tit soup is such a great line.
It is.
Because I mean that's what it is.
Yes. Yes, it is.
And Carrie like doesn't react to it. She's just like, yeah. And then Charlotte and Samantha come in and they're like, okay, we have to leave now, and I'm like, okay, I guess we'll leave.
The bouncer like comes up behind them and is like, we're going.
Mhm.
It's just like he let you walk awfully far.
and then we're getting ready to leave LA, and Carrie's packing, and then we're in the hotel lobby, and she's just like, everyone was just happy to go back home to New York.
Mm-hmm. And she lights up a cigarette.
Yeah,
The hotel person.
she lights up a cigarette in the lobby.
Yeah, the person's like, you can't smoke in here, and she's like, we know, we're going. It's like, no, you're not being funny, Carrie. You're being rude.
You
Yeah,
clearly did not know.
You still can't smoke in there, even if you're about to like leave.
Right. Like they're not just saying that so that you feel unwelcome. They're saying it 'cause it's the rule.
Mm-hmm. Yep, that's pretty much that's it. That's it for the show. So I guess rankings.
Mm-hmm. Would you like to go first, Val, as our guest?
Mm-hmm.
Sure. So top of my order is Charlotte, because she had a problem and she solved it by just immediately fucking off. And I appreciate that about her.
Yeah.
And then it's I think Samantha, because I relate very hard to her embarrassing moment of her like thinking that she was exposing someone else, but then actually she's the one that looks bad. And she had a nice time meeting the mummified remains of Hugh Hefner. And she didn't do anything weird to anybody. And then I mean, I listened to this podcast, so I'm like, I have to put Carrie at the bottom because
you don't have to. I put Carrie at the top before. Yeah.
Yeah, I guess. But I'm gonna put Miranda third, because I like that she was like, she talked to this guy who was like mellowed out for like one day and was like, maybe this is my new personality. And she just like tried out being nice and like non-judgmental. And I just like, I relate to that of just like, you meet somebody who you kind of like and you're like, yeah, this is what my life's going to be now. I think this is good. And she said something about the guy not eating, but she didn't. I mean, also tit soup is a great line.
Tit soup is prime, yeah.
Tit soup is fantastic, yeah.
And then Carrie's at the bottom for making Samantha drive 4 hours so that they could look at bags in the back of a car for 10 seconds. And also for being mean to the bunnies. I don't know. She just seemed very like, ugh. She was very convinced that she already knew who these women were. And
yeah. Not cool, Carrie.
I think, I don't know, this is hard. I think I might put Samantha at the top. Just because she's kind of living a bit of a fantasy of mine. Like, I don't want to really, I mean, I'm not going to meet Hugh Hefner, because he's dead. I might see him in hell, maybe. But, but it's kind of, no, I just kind of like it. Like, I'm going to buy a new purse. I'm just going to go to this, like, cool party. Like, I think that's kind of fun.
Yeah.
And then
And she had that garbage can hat.
Yeah, she did pull out the best looks.
Mhm.
Yes.
Carrie didn't really do anything bad in this episode. Like, apart from smoking indoors. So she was fine. So I might honestly put her at number 2.
Oh,
And then
wow.
I know. Well, actually, right, maybe Miranda's second and then Carrie's third. I'm not super happy with really, like, Charlotte's whole deal was just boring.
Mhm.
I kind of think, obviously this would be bad for her character, but like story-wise, if she had been tempted to cheat, then at least that's something that kind of like dives her plot forward. But nothing happened. Like, she just went out there and didn't really do anything.
Right.
So it's just that, and like she's talking to this weird old guy, and she gets drunk at this party. Like, she doesn't do anything. I kind of wanted her to go a bit wild while she was there, and then that would have played into her kind of frustrations of being locked up.
Yeah.
This is interesting because we're all going to have very different rankings this week. Because a lot of the time it's like, yeah, we'll have a guest on and then all 3 of us will be pretty much the same.
Yeah.
I think I'm going to put Samantha at the top as well. Because I thought her story was just fun. She seemed to be having a good time. I really liked a couple of the lines she had. I loved that she said that Woody Allen was fucking garbage. That was pretty
Yeah.
That was cool.
Yeah.
And okay, so she's at my top, and then I'm probably gonna put Miranda second, because I don't know, Miranda and Charlotte are kind of the same for me this week. They were both kind of there, and I thought they were fine. Actually, I'm gonna put Miranda second because of the tit soup. So she'll go second for that. That's what puts her like a notch above Charlotte. Charlotte's third because I love the idea of just being like, I'm gonna fuck off because I'm unhappy. I'm just gonna fucking fly across the country about it. And then Carrie's bottom for me because I just didn't give a shit. I thought she was boring. I don't think Vince Vaughn is nice to look at. And then, yeah, I don't know. She was boring. She was smoking. She was like kind of bleh. And I hated that she did the stupid thing about driving 4 hours and then not buying a bag.
That's fair. Yeah. She's solid third for me now. But I don't know, I shouldn't do anything egregious, which for Carrie is impressive.
True. Yeah, compared to usual, she was like okay this week.
Yeah.
Right.
So, Val, I guess now we're at the end. Like, which girl are you? Who do you think you are?
I would love to say a different answer, but I know that I'm a Charlotte. Like,
yeah.
I don't think being a Charlotte is too bad. I think being Charlotte's fine. As long as you're not a Republican Charlotte, then
I'm not
it's fine.
Charlotte. I am really good at sailing, and I have brown hair, and I think that she's just like trying to have a nice life, and I think there's something wrong with like being like private about your sex life or whatever, or like not wanting to, be surprised with a finger in your butthole or whatever. Like,
yeah.
Spoiler, has that already happened, or was that a preview?
I might have.
There's some.
Like I said, we block everything out. Once we finish, we just nothing happened.
Wiped this clean. Yeah, but I mean, because if a guy was like, I'm an anal, I would not just be like, no thanks. I would be like, why are you saying it like that? Why are you casual about it?
Yeah.
But yeah, definitely like her in this episode where she's like, I would rather be hanging out with my friends. They seem to be having a fun time. My husband is not
that's
willing to chill.
That's a pretty relatable thing, I think.
Charlotte's got some really good qualities, so I love that.
She does. Well, they're human beings, they're real people at the end of the day.
True.
Should we move on to questions?
We can. So we got 4 questions this week. I love it.
We do.
I love
We
to see
got
it.
like a little bonus one since we started recording, which is always fun.
I love
From
it.
Alex.
Yeah, from Alex Leaf
friend of the show, Alex Leaf Crunch.
Yay, we love Alex.
Commented in the Discord being like, I'm going to send in a question. Yay. All right.
I love it. Okay, so if you want to send us a question, you can send it to us at citygirlsmakedo.tumblr.com/ask. So our questions this week, our first one is from a Tumblr user Magnificent Sap Caddy. And they have said, if Charlotte came to LA last episode, would she have fallen in love with Matthew McConaughey and immediately left Trey? I feel like he might be a bit crunchy for Charlotte, but otherwise I feel like there'd be a fair amount of chemistry there.
I like my men how I like my peanut butter.
Crunchy.
I love that. I think maybe they want to say country.
No, crunchy is like earthy crunchy. Like
Really?
a granola bar. Like,
oh, I haven't heard that before.
Yeah. Crunchy is like when you wear like shoes with toes.
Oh, yeah. Oh, I would love that. I say I hate hiking, but I would love to date someone who wears like toe shoes.
I don't know if I would, but I think you're valid if you do, but I don't really need to see the outline of your toes. Like, toes
I know you're a foot hater. I kind of want to get toe shoes just because, like, I kind of feel like I'm the Shailene Woodley of podcasting.
But how much grip does a foot need, though?
I don't know. But I have weird shaped toes anyway, so I don't know if they'd, like, fit. Like, what if you get them and then your toes are too, like, long or too short for the holes?
True, because some people have, like, weird fucking toes that are, like, long or too, like, very short. Like, they're all, like, lots of people have toes that are all different lengths. I mean, all toes are weird, I guess, but
because I have, like, I have, like, yoga socks that are toesies, and they don't fit right.
Your toes are supposed to each be a different length than each other.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm now looking at my toes, and it's hard to say, because they all start at different places, so it's, like, hard to tell how long they each are.
I'm gonna measure my toes as soon as we finish this, and I'll keep you guys updated.
We can put some info in the description.
Actually, no, because I keep attracting fucking foot fetishes. I'm not gonna do that.
Yeah, let's just not.
I decided, listen, I'm not going to post any pictures of my feet, or I'm not going to do any of that shit unless you're paying me. And I keep attracting foot fetishes. I don't know why.
Yeah.
But anyway, I don't think she would have fallen in love with Matthew McConaughey because I feel like he's a bit too much for her. She likes the Prince Charming, and he is not that.
He was very rude.
So I don't think... Yeah, I think maybe Samantha would have slept with the Matthew McConaughey type because he's in the show he was very intense, and that seems like that could be her bag.
Yeah, true. She could be like, I slept with Matthew McConaughey. And
yeah, she would fuck him just to fuck him.
Yeah, which, like, incredibly valid. Like,
yeah,
just to have that under your belt.
100%. Like, I feel like she would have slept with Hef if she was like. That would have been the next step if she didn't get kicked out.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. She would have been like, ladies, 100%. You guys can find your own way home. Not that she was driving. You know what I mean?
I think they got a cab.
Yeah.
So they could drink. But yeah, that's my opinion.
Yeah, I think so too. I think it would be a no for Charlotte, but we did get to see what she would do in LA this week, so that was kind of a nice question for this episode. Our next question is from a regular question asker, Tumblr user 2x2Furious, who's saying, if the show gave Charlotte a GF, who would be an ideal choice?
Like to play her?
I just burped into the mic, so not me.
What about like Winona Ryder?
Oh my god. Oh wait, like in that Friends episode where she just kisses.
I was gonna say the same thing. Yeah.
Oh my god, I forgot about that. That totally did happen. Yeah.
That definitely left an imprint on me.
I think since the show is like early 2000s, like late 90s, I feel like if Charlotte were to get a girlfriend, it would be like Angelina Jolie, and she would be like with her like, you know, early 2000s like thin eyebrows and dark lipstick, and she would be like an artist at Charlotte's gallery, and Charlotte would be like, oh, I don't know.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, maybe like she's like Gia era, like that kind of. Angelina Jolie was in a film called Gia where she played like a a real person. I can't remember her surname, but she was a model and bisexual, so she slept with a lot of women in that film. It was great.
Mm-hmm. Yes, it would be that.
I think it's like sticking with the same time zone. I was gonna say, like, for some reason the first person who popped in my head was Liv Tyler.
Ooh, I love that.
She might have been like a little bit young, but
You can see
I
that
don't
though.
know. I can kind of see her as being like, because I feel like if Charlotte were to turn, she would need like someone to turn for, or make her like be her, her key, her closet key. So I kind of see her being like this kind of manic pixie dream girl-esque figure. But I was gonna say I kind of want to see Charlotte with someone like pretty butch, like
Yeah.
maybe just sticking with the showgirls theme, like Gina Gershon in Bound, like that kind of vibe of just very like butch.
I don't know who
I would.
but I don't want to
Oh,
say
okay.
it.
Listen, I'm making a lot of references today, guys, because we're in Hollywood.
No.
Oh, I had to
Sorry.
look her up, but I didn't know who you were talking about. But that's Jughead's mom on Riverdale. Nice.
Excellent.
Excellent. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, Bound. It was made by the Wachowskis. It was like pre-Matrix, I want to say, like just before the
Ooh.
Matrix, and it's about like two lesbian lovers. It's great. And Gina Gershon is in it, and she was also in Showgirls, where she also plays a lesbian. So,
Nice.
a
I think-
lesbian who's dating Kyle MacLachlan.
Transitive property. Charlotte get
Yeah.
GF. I think
Charlotte, get GF.
if it was an actual Sex and the City plot, I think it would be Liv Tyler playing like a really buttoned up, like sweater set, kind of like really preppy woman, and Charlotte being like, "Oh, I like this girl, but she's clearly not gay because she's so preppy like me." And then at the end, it's like,
I think,
yeah,
like,
I'm lesbian.
speaking of Friends,
you know,
yeah. Speaking of like Winona Ryder and Friends, like maybe she would be like a sorority sister or like an old friend who comes back into town, and then it all comes bubbling to the surface one night over drinks.
and the punchline of the storyline is that it is gay, and now she's her girlfriend.
They were girlfriends, but now they're girlfriends. Oh,
Yes, I love this. We
Yes.
need to write
Me.
Sex in the City instead of the people who actually wrote it.
we do. We need to do like a remake or something, or just like a a spiritual set in the same universe but with different characters.
Wait,
Like the Sex and the City cinematic universe.
I
Ooh, love
having
it.
dark brown hair will play Charlotte. Alex, your hair is curly, so you can play Carrie. And Steph,
That's true.
whoever you want, but you have to pick either Samantha or Miranda.
You're a Miranda because
Well,
your hair's red.
I can be Miranda. Hell
Oh,
yeah.
your hair's red,
I love
yes.
this.
Of course.
And then I guess that means Summer can be Samantha.
I love it.
I was gonna say based
Oh,
on who's in
wow.
the channel right now, Craig would be Samantha. But I don't know that
Craig
that would
is
work.
our Samantha.
I mean, Craig always shows up for us, so yeah.
Oh, it's so great. Okay.
Okay, so that was good. Our next question is probably one of my favorite questions we've ever gotten before. Okay, so it's a bit of a mouthful. Okay, so this is from Tumblr user Mike Dawson, a regular question asker, who says, okay, a trolley problem. On one set of tracks is Skipper, Steve, and Carrie. The train is going to run them all over. However, if you divert the train, you can go onto a different set of tracks where Mr. Big is. Do you kill 3 terrible people or 1 extremely terrible person?
Oh.
This is a real moral dilemma, and I feel like we could debate it for literally hours. Because, okay, my solution to the trolley problem is I kind of feel like the regular trolley problem is, intervening is kind of, either way, intervening, you're kind of killing someone, whereas if you don't intervene, you're just letting them die. But anyway, you don't know. It's stupid because you don't know what you do in a crisis. My solution to this specific one is multi-track drifting.
Yes!
Oh, man.
Multi-track drifting is like always the solution to the trolley problem for me. Okay, so my thing here is that I feel like this kind of downplays how shitty Skipper and Steve and Carrie all are. And it's like, I don't know if Big is bad enough to represent all three of them.
I think the issue is Big represents the bourgeoisie.
Yeah.
It's true. He is big pharma.
But, like, the thing about...
True.
Ooh. Mr. Big Pharma.
Big pharma.
The thing about Big is that, like, he sucks ass, but here's the thing. We know that he was supposed to die in the next movie. He's already older than all of them. Like, he's probably gonna die sooner than them anyway. Skipper is, like, 22 years old or something. Like, he's probably older than that. But, like, Skipper's gonna live so long. Skipper, you just know that in, 20 years from Sex and the City, Skipper is going to be a men's rights activist. He's gonna be some 40-year-old edgelord sitting on Reddit. And I can't abide by that. Meanwhile, in fucking 2019, Big is probably just like some shitty Wall Street guy who's not even online. So like
he's like 5 years away from heart attack. I mean, maybe if you divert it, then it's like Final Destination and they're all gonna die in seemingly elaborate ways.
I honestly, I would pull the lever, Piglet.
Mm-hmm.
I would Kronk. I would divert the train and just kill Mr. Big because I think Steve sucks shit, but he sucks, but he's not actively detrimental to Miranda's like life, and she is great enough. She doesn't need a boyfriend to improve her, so him being there is just kind of a net zero. Like, it's not a gain for Miranda.
Yeah.
She's fine. And then Skipper is already gone from the ecosystem of the Sex and the City, so he doesn't need to be handled because he's going to go be terrible by himself.
Yeah.
And then Carrie is, I mean, she's terrible all by herself, but like most of the time, Big makes her like boy crazy and like do just things that don't make any sense. So I think if you took out Big, then she would be slightly better. Like, I don't think that she would have cheated on Aiden with anyone else. Like, I don't think
that's true.
She wanted to cheat on Aiden. It was because Mr. Big has like, hypnotoad powers or whatever. And she's just like,
yeah. Like,
sex.
she goes into like a catatonic state when he leaves her at the altar in the movie.
Right.
So I feel if he died, then like it would free her from some curse.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's
for
like,
sure.
how in Twilight when Edward dumps Bella, actually, in New Moon when Edward dumps Bella and she just goes into that like she goes into a catatonic state and then she sees like hallucinations of him. Like, that's what would happen if he died. That's straight up what would happen to Carrie if she died, but then eventually she'd come out of it.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
So, there you go, you got our answers.
I love it. Thanks for the question. Our last question is from a very good friend of the show, Alex Leafcrunch. And she's asked, "Hi, it's me, Alex Leafcrunch. I started to wonder which of the girls would play which Keanu Reeves character. Also for Val, what would a Sex and the City / Elementary crossover look like?"
Oh, this is good. Okay.
I love the
Which
bespoke
Keanu
questions
Reeves
for me.
characters? Okay, so...
Okay, well, for character, I think... Okay, well, Charlotte can be my own private Idaho.
Oh!
Mhm. Yes.
Yeah.
I love how I made that noise just at the thought of my own private Idaho.
Yeah.
Just
But I mean, like, she's gay, so...
That's true. Okay, so yeah, we remake My Private Idaho with Liv Tyler and Kristen Davis.
Love it. My
cut
own
out
private
the part
Manhattan.
where we cut out the part where they don't end up together at the end.
That's
Yes.
true. Yeah.
Or spoilers for My Own Private Idaho.
Yeah. Oh
Anyway.
god. I'm gonna cry. Okay. And then I think I wanna say, alright, who's John Wick? One of them needs to be John Wick.
I feel like Miranda's John Wick.
Miranda
Yeah,
gets
that's
things
true.
done.
Wait, no, he plays a lawyer in Devil's Advocate, so she can be, I can't remember what his name is, like something Lomax or whatever. But he does, his wife is Charlize Theron, and I would love to see Miranda and Charlize Theron together.
True, I would love to see that.
Yeah. And I want to say Carrie's Speed. She's a Johnny Utah. Is that his name, or is that Point Break?
I don't know.
Whatever. She's Speed because she can't drive.
I love it.
Samantha is the one from Bill and Ted. I don't know if he's Bill or Ted, because she's here to have a good time, and she would also pick 69 as a good number to think of.
True.
That's true. What movie does he fuck in a lot? Like, I don't like he does fuck in movies. I don't think there's one where he's like doing a lot of fucking.
But I will research this on my own.
We need to make that movie. Yeah, we need to find out. The entire purpose of the Keanu podcast, when we get to make it, is us finding out what movies he fucks in the most. We're gonna have to rank them all.
We're gonna have like separate rankings of like, okay, is he super cute in this movie? Is he like sexy? Like, what's the Keanu scale of, you know?
Is there a movie where you can see Keanu Reeves' butt?
I believe so. There must be. And
also, it should be John Wick 4.
Yes.
Oh yeah. Do you know what he's like very sexy in? Knock Knock. Oh, that's it. He fucks in that movie. He has a threesome in that movie.
Wow.
I
am learning that I know very little about the movies that Keanu Reeves has been in.
He has a threesome in a shower, and it's directed by Eli Roth.
Directed by Eli Roth. Just making a.
Yeah, the creator of Hostel was like, I'm going to make a movie with Keanu Reeves.
Excellent.
And I watched it, and it was very bad.
But how bad could it be?
Yeah, true.
I'll watch it. Yeah, it's just like very sexually uncomfortable. Like, I watched it because I was like, oh, Keanu Reeves has a threesome. And then
that gif of Tom Hanks blowing out his fingers and
yeah.
Yeah, for sure. I feel like there was an episode of Sex and the City where Miranda looked like Neo, but now I can't place it. But I feel like there was one where she was wearing like black and she had like Neo glasses on. I swear to God this has happened.
There was a scene in this episode where her hair is like combed back, like very the way that the lady in the Matrix is sometimes.
Oh yeah, Trinity. No, he's sexy in Something's Gotta Give. That's like, but that's just like more cute Keanu than like sexy Keanu.
I mean, you could argue he's both at the same time.
Well, true, but then there's like, you know, he's hot, but then there's moments where he's like very like cute and like a puppy dog, and then there's like, nah, I'm gonna like Bill, like Ted from Bill and Ted, like is gonna throw you down on a haystack.
That's a good point.
I got her cramping just thinking about it, so maybe your math is wrong there.
Just wait till we get Nathan on our Keanu Reeves podcast.
Oh, I cannot wait.
I'm so
Nathan's
excited.
Gonna have to be a regular like guest.
Yep. Our Keanu correspondent. Yesterday I found out that a friend of mine has a friend with a cat named Nathan Keanu Reeves, and I had to send that to Nathan immediately. I was like,
oh my
Nathan
gosh.
Keanu Reeves? That is amazing. Unfortunately, I could not get a picture for him, but...
Oh, Nathan Keanu Reeves. Nathan come on the show, and Nathan Keanu Reeves, the cat, come on the show.
Yes, I agree. So the second part of the question was, Alex asked, also for Val, what would a Sex and the City / Elementary crossover look like?
Yes. So, man, I have no idea. These shows are not compatible. If there was an overlap, Carrie would be out of town, and because Elementary is also set in New York, so I could see like somebody getting murdered in Charlotte's art gallery, and then they have to solve it, and Charlotte is like, ooh, like she's a witness that comes in and is like not helpful, and I guess
Miranda could help solve a case.
Miranda would be Charlotte's lawyer. Like she would help her like testify and stuff.
Oh yeah.
Even though Charlotte's like not in trouble, and they would be like, "You're really fine. You don't have to do this." She'd be like, I just feel more comfortable. Samantha would be there, and she would. Okay. What I would want to happen is that Samantha would hit on Joan, aka Lucy Liu, and Lucy Liu, aka Joan, would be
Ooh,
like,
yeah.
no, thank you, lady, but thank you anyway. But knowing how the show actually works, she would have weird sex with Sherlock because that's what he does. Is he has weird sex with people, and then he's
That's
like,
fair.
"Nice
Don't
to meet
we all?
you. Goodbye." And it would
Wait,
be off
Sherlock
screen.
has lots of sex?
Mm-hmm.
Sherlock has lots of
Yes.
sex in it? Oh, okay. I feel like most,
Elementary,
unfortunately, like
not BBC.
I haven't seen all of like the Sherlock with asterisk replacing the vowels show, but I've seen enough of it where it was like, oh, I don't fuck.
Oh yeah, no.
No.
That's what I assumed.
No, Elementary is
Johnny Lee
good.
Miller fucks.
Johnny Lee
That's
Miller
what you gotta
absolutely
know.
fucks. And he also like he just has like canonically in the show like is just like, yeah, I do weird BDSM stuff all the time. Like
Oh my god.
Well,
I'm pretty sure
he
he's like
was.
a sub, but it's just
Oh,
like
definitely.
and he takes care of it the same way that he's like, you know, the same way that someone would be like, yeah, every 4 weeks I take my dog to the groomer to get them shampooed and washed. He's like, yeah, every once in a while I have women over who do weird sex things to me, and I do weird sex
Oh my God.
things with them.
I'm so happy that was not a part of the Benedict Cumberbatch version.
Oh yeah, I think what's her face, Irene Adler was still like a dominatrix type in that show.
Okay.
I've seen a bit of Elementary.
Well, no, she in Elementary she's
and I've
not.
seen some Sherlock as well.
In
You'll be
Sherlock-
happy to know that Lucy Liu does make a cameo in Sex and the City.
Yes.
Excellent.
Who is Marjorie Terrell? Who's Natalie Dormer in Elementary? Was she Moriarty? I knew she was in it.
I mean, it depends. Okay, so there's two answers.
Oh.
Do you want the spoiler answer or the regular answer?
No,
I
I
want
don't think we're
both.
gonna watch it.
He is
So spoilers
Irene.
for Elementary.
Spoilers for Elementary. She is Irene Adler and Moriarty.
Whoa.
Oh, she's both. Shit.
And so she was like the
Shit.
great love of Sherlock's life, and then she was evil, and then I think they thought she died, but she didn't. Or maybe she went to prison,
Oh shit.
but she's not, she's still handling things while in prison.
Good for her.
hmm
I love that.
And she makes a
Good for her.
gigantic,
I love
makes a 5-foot painting of Joan, like a huge portrait.
That's fucking gay, and I love it.
Yes,
I love
Incredibly
that.
yes.
That's good as
I
hell.
mean, if I had art talent, I would absolutely make a 5-foot painting of Lucy Liu. But like,
Well,
Yeah.
Lucy Liu is a painter herself. Like, I would love
Yes,
to
true.
trade portraits or something with Lucy Liu.
Lucy Liu
That's
open
ex-
commissions, please.
Oh my god, I would love that.
I found my
Okay.
Lucy
I guess we
That
should jump
doesn't
into Patreon now.
Oh yeah.
We got Patreon. Okay, I'll run this down pretty quick. So we got we have our Patreon. Just go to patreon.com/citygirlsmakedo. All of our patrons at any level get access to our Mummy Mailbag, which we put out a first episode of a couple weeks ago. So the next one will be out the end of this month. They're monthly, which is with Alex's mom, and they're very fun.
Ask us questions for
Ask
June.
us questions. Yes, send us questions in. Just make sure that they specify that they're for Alex's mom. The next thing is that, so at the $1 level, you get access to that and a special word in our Discord. At the $5 level, you can send us things to say in Steve voice if you would like. You also get a special shout out on the podcast. So shout out to our $5 donors: Mogu, Summergeist, Jess Ialachi, Siberian Pine Hardwood, Matt Ribeiro, Pierre the Disaster, and that's it. And then at the $10 level, you get all of that, plus you can listen into the podcast while we record. So yeah, find us on Patreon, and there's also a link to the Discord on our Patreon, so if you want to join in and chat with us, it's been very fun. I love the Discord.
Yay, me too.
Yep. Yeah, so shout outs and plugs. Why did I say shout outs? Val, do you have anything you want to plug?
Well, first of all, I do want to shout out Alex Leaf Crunch for no reason. She's great.
Yeah, we
same.
love Alex.
I love her.
We love her. My Twitter is flightcub. Flight cub with a B at the end. Two B's. It's very. I don't know why I'm having such trouble explaining it, but I think you get it.
I think we got it.
We'll
Yeah,
have a link
that's
in
my
the
Twitter.
episode description too.
I probably don't even have to say it at all.
Nice. And you were on Follow Noise Space podcast recently, right?
Yeah.
Yes, I have been. Alex Leafcrunch and I were the guests on Podcasting is Forbidden in the Cloud Recesses. I have also guested on Fear Baiting, which is another Get Noise Space joint, and on
Fear Baiting good.
Fear Baiting Good. And I'm going to be on again
Mhm.
at some point. I don't remember when. And
Nice.
and Jerkin it, I was also a guest on once on episode 68.
Yes, you were.
And Alex
Oh,
was
so
like, "You
close.
can wait 1 week." And I was like, "Fuck."
God damn
But
it.
it's-
Ah, that's so close.
We need to do something big for 69.
Oh,
We
Mhm.
need
for
to figure
sure.
that out. It's coming up sooner than we think.
Yeah, we're on 44 now, so that's like it's coming up. So cool. You can find me on Twitter at Age of Oddish. You can find me on Tumblr at Windfall Island, and that's it.
Yep. And you can find me on Twitter at DorkPhoenix69, and then I'm just DorkPhoenix, no 69 on Tumblr. That's it, everyone.
That's it. Thank you so much for joining us, Val.
having me.
And it was a pleasure having you on. This was very fun.
It was so fun.
Thank
Love
you.
it.
I'm just very
Love to
flattering.
have guests.
Aw.
And yeah, we'll be back next week with the regular. So far, we have no guest on next week, so it might just be me and Alex again.
Do you know what? That's fine. I like
Also
when we have
Becky
guests. I
now.
like when it's just us. Listen, you can't lose with this show.
It's true, because our guests are great, and then Alex and I are also great, so it's
Yeah.
like win-win. So
Mm-hmm.
Oh, man, I just realized with the 4 girls and then with you 2 hosts, it's 6 in the city. And we
Six
love
six
it.
six.
6 in the city.
Okay.
It's the devil number.
I
It's
love
us. So hail Satan and Mohei every day.
it. Hail Satan, Mohei every day.
Okay, twice a day if you have time.
Wow.
But every
All
day.
right, bye. Every day, twice a day, like brushing your teeth.
On the clock. Yeah.
Bye.
Bye.